I don't know about y'all, but I thought that this episode 2, was pure unfiltered chaos. There's just so much flip-flopping and mess going on out there right now that it's damn near impossible to tell who's actually going to make it far. We do have a lot to talk about today from episode 2, but if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that subscribe button below. I'll be here recapping Survivor all season long as I do my best to decipher this edit and figure out who our winner is. Plus, I do talk about other competition shows from time to time too. So please make sure you're subscribed for some good reality competition TV content. Now, let's get started. So this episode kicks off with the Red Tribe, where it looks like Rome is still the main topic of conversation over here. We saw in the first episode that his tribe was already thinking that he was a little shady, and now he's just out there bragging about how great and amazing he is at making fire and playing basketball and apparently rapping, which is his words and not mine.
I always knew, like, on the low, I could probably be a rapper if I really wanted to. It's been a couple years, couple stories, a couple smiles, like, I forgot it in my head now.
So it's pretty clear that he's still rubbing people the wrong way out there, which is why it's super important that he has that idol. Now, we see Rome confiding into Teeny about his idol because he just knows that she's the most trustworthy, aka she has the best social game. But Teeny is immediately gonna start spilling and telling Kishan everything, even bringing him to the actual box that supposedly belongs to Rome. Clearly, there is zero loyalty to Rome here at all whatsoever, which should be the huge, big, glaring red flag to him, especially after he catches them red-handed. So right now, at least Rome knows that Teeny can't be trusted, right? But at the same time, by the way that he's acting out there, and by the way that he's calling it Survivor Rome in the next episode previews, I'm not sure if he realizes just how much shit he's in. So with Rome's demeanor combined with his not-so-secret idol, I'm sure things are going to get very, very interesting if and when this tribe ever does go to tribal. Meanwhile, over on the Yellow Tribe, they are busy trying to recover from their disastrous start to the game. It looks like most people on his tribe still want Andy to be out next, but they also don't want him doing anything crazy or crashing out again, so Sam is assigned to be his babysitter for now. But Sam is obviously not the best nanny because he decides to turn away for a split second only to come back and find out that Andy has just disappeared. Just like a toddler, Andy has gone and wandered off and is now exploring the island looking for any advantage that he can. And even though time is just not on his side at all, he still happens to get very, very lucky here and is able to find his tribe's beware advantage just in the nick of time. Obviously, this is great news for Andy since he's on the bottom, but instead of opening the advantage now and grabbing the idol, he decides to put it back to save it for later. Which, I know, in hindsight, this was a really dumb idea. But hear me out for a minute, y'all, because I still want to give Andy the benefit of the doubt just a little bit. Because I can kind of sort of understand Andy being a little bit hesitant in that moment, you know? He already knows that he's automatically going to lose his vote as soon as he opens it. And he probably also kind of knows that he's just being watched and babysat by everybody on his tribe right now. I mean, his whole tribe was literally hunting him down and looking for him at that exact same moment. So I can completely understand him feeling like time really isn't on his side and that now isn't the best time to go on this big hunt for the idol. But what I was really not expecting, and I know Andy wasn't expecting this either, was for Sam to sneak in right behind Andy and find the idol too, pretty much immediately. I mean, this idol had to be in like the most obvious spot on that whole camp or something. I feel like it is never that simple for people to find them. So even though Sam almost has an idol now, he's still kind of in this tight spot because he wasn't alone when he found it. Anika was with him at the time and knows about it too, so eventually Sierra and Rachel are clued in, and now pretty much everybody knows about that damn idol. At this point, it is literally Andy versus everybody on that tribe. But then Andy does something interesting. Andy goes up to Sam and just completely confesses everything to Sam about how the idol went missing.
You found it? Yeah, but I didn't take it. Oh, you left it? Yeah, because I didn't want to lose my boat. so I stashed it.
I was in musical theater and it's not for my singing. Like, I can act a little bit. But I was not ready for the bomb that Andy was about to drop.
And this makes Sam feel really good about Andy. Like, really, really good. Good enough to make a pretty risky play in the game. See, Sam didn't fully trust Andy at first, but now Andy is showing all of this loyalty by giving him all this information. So now Sam is thinking of saving Andy with the idol that Andy should have had all along. And on top of this trust stuff, Sam just doesn't want to be the only dude on his tribe in general. So that's another reason why he wants to keep Andy in the game, because Sam doesn't want to make himself an easy target, which honestly I really can't blame him for, because I wouldn't want to be the only lady on the tribe either. My guess is that the next step for Sam is to maybe try to get Anika out instead, but I'm not completely sure. Either way, it is looking like Andy is actually very, very safe for now. Now, Andy could totally flip on Sam later on down the line when he inevitably finds out that Sam actually took the idol and then lied straight to Andy's face about it. But we're just gonna have to wait and see how that whole storyline plays out. Over on the Blue Tribe, we see TK doing his best to try to gain as many numbers as he can. I feel like there's always at least one jock bro type of dude who just tends to gravitate towards the other men more. They tend to work with mostly other guys and they don't really seem to value the ladies as much in the game, and TK is definitely giving me those vibes. Like, the word bro is literally his catchphrase.
Godzilla comes out the bush, bro. Like, the biggest alligator I've ever seen in my life, bro, comes out the bush. And
Godzilla.
That was Godzilla, bro. You can't tell me it wasn't, bro. Like, yeah, bro. Oh, yeah, bro. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. So if you want to go.
So TK was able to bro down with Kyle and get him on board to his side pretty quickly, but he doesn't have that same trust or connection with Gabe. And I think that's really due to there being some leftover tension from episode 1 due to that secret idol hunt thing. So TK is going to reach out to Tiyana instead and try to recruit her over to his side, which would just rub me the wrong way if I were her, because that would feel like such a reluctant second choice to me. But even though Tiyana is a little bit reluctant to join this side and possibly be on the bottom, she does lock in with this trio for now at least. And on the other side of that tribe, Gabe was able to form his own trio with Carolyn and Sue. So now it's kind of looking like there are two equal sides at war over here, but in reality, it's really not that simple. People like Gabe and Tiyana are really more in the middle here. Gabe is pretending to be a number for TK's side to throw them off, and Tiyana is starting to get a little bit annoyed with TK's general voice and personality, and she's not alone on that either. So there is definitely a lot of tension in the air as this group heads into the next immunity challenge. As everyone walks up to the beach and arrives to the comp, they are all completely shook to see that John was voted out and that Andy's ass is still standing there. And Andy is so funny, y'all. He literally walks in smiling and waving like he's in a damn parade. He's acting like the mastermind when he had literally nothing to do with himself staying at all. Honestly, I love the audacity, okay? I stan it. They probably all think that Andy is just some sort of master manipulator over there or something, and I think that's hilarious. The competition kicks off, and it is your standard Survivor challenge that all boils down to this balanced competition at the end. But eventually, the Yellow Tribe is able to pull out the win, sending the Blue Tribe to Tribal Council for the first time. Now, before we continue with the game, I do want to take a minute to talk about Rachel's attempt to steal the rice from the competition. My girl. We see Jeff call her out on this in front of everybody, which had to be embarrassing. But to me, as long as it's not technically illegal, as long as it's not written in the rule book, as long as production does not explicitly say that you can't do something, I think it's all fair game. I am very pro exploiting any and every loophole you can find in games like this. So I'm not mad at Rachel at all whatsoever. I respect the hustle. Back at the Blue Tuku camp, there's still some leftover tension between Tiyana and TK following that last challenge. There was this little interaction back on the mat where I think that Tiyana thought that TK was trying to throw shade at her. I'm just not sure if that was completely the case. But either way it goes, even if TK wasn't trying to directly shade Tiyana here, she still feels hurt about it, and that's all that matters. But TK just kind of makes everything worse when he goes to confront her about it in that whole, if you got something to say to me, say it to my face type of way. Which, don't get me wrong, I totally respect that type of energy in the real world, but when you're playing social games like this, having that kind of vibe just doesn't really make people want to gel with you like that, you know? On top of all this, TK's personality is still kind of rubbing people the wrong way out there and still making him a prime target for that other side. So we're in this situation where half the tribe really wants TK gone, but TK really wants to vote out Sue here, which I'm guessing is just because she's the oldest and seen as the weakest, which is just kind of lame to me. Like, especially if we're talking about Sue, because Sue has hella muscle on her, okay? That lady is ripped, okay? She is in fantastic shape for her age. So it's actually looking like the vote is down to Sue versus TK. And this is a situation that could easily result in a 3-3 vote, leading everybody to do a rock draw, which people are preparing for. But Tiyana is actually the one in the middle here that's going to be making the deciding vote. Her gut is telling her that TK needs to go, but that would leave her with less numbers moving forward. However, if she does decide to vote out Sue here, then she could easily go home in a rock draw. So it's kind of a tricky position for Tiyana to be in, but in the end, she decides to go with her gut and vote out TK. I don't blame her for wanting TK to go out here, but again, it does also kind of place her in an awkward spot on her tribe. Kyle may not trust her at all after this, and that other side is more locked in with each other than they are with her. So again, it could be very, very tricky, but I'm interested to see if and when she's able to recover. Gabe also randomly plays his idol here, even though it was totally unnecessary. Maybe he didn't feel completely safe here, or maybe he just wanted to burn his idol just because everybody knew about it. I'm not completely sure. It definitely seemed like a misread on his end, but hey, after last season's ridiculous gameplay revolving the idols, I'm just glad to see one get used, okay? So that's all we got for today. I honestly thought the second episode was an absolute hot mess, way crazier than the first, but I loved every second of it. I'm not getting any super strong winner clues from anybody in particular so far, but Sam and Teeny continue to stand out for their dominant gameplay. And if I had to choose a quieter, more low-key player that's still standing out to me, it would have to be Carolyn. We're still very much in the early stages of the game though, so really anything could still happen from here. Of course, I'll be back here to recap with y'all next week, but until then, bye.